everyone, and welcome to this week's Good Work Show. We have a show that has all women on it. So there you go.
That was a really informative introduction.
It was, but it really is because it's about two women who are leading their organization. So one is a founder of a nonprofit, the other one president and CEO of another one. And they're serving youth. And also one helping with technology, the other with fitness. So it's actually going to be really cool, but nice to have a whole female cast of leaders on the show today, I think.
Yeah, so first we're going to meet with Jay Davis. She is...
At the bottom of the show, yeah.
Yeah, so she's not first.
Yes.
At all. She's the first person that's written down on my piece of paper right here. So that's how that happened.
Threw you off a little bit.
That's how that happened.
Yes.
But she's going to be talking about her program to help kids who are might be dealing with I don't know if it's obesity, but just they're just not fit.
Mm-hmm.
Which a lot of us are.
So Jay Fit Academy, and Jay is a personal trainer. She's a celebrity personal trainer. Has fitness in her background. I think she's a former boxer, but she incorporates lots of life skills into the fitness that she is, teaching to the young children who are coming to her. And they stay for 90 days. That's a long time that she's committed to doing this because she wanted to overcome childhood obesity and all of the things that are, that could really help with bullying. And, as a child, if you are different than other kids at school or something, if you have to take medicine or you are overweight or anything like that, all of those things could combine to really make your experience poor. Or if you just don't work out at all and you're just not fit and your parents, you don't work out, you don't exercise, you don't get outside, all of those things could contribute. So she's got a program, Jay Fit Academy, that is going to help students reverse that. And so she's going to come on and talk all about it.
Yeah. Do kids still have recess? Like, is there still do they still?
I think they cut it back because I remember and you had like three recesses.
Yeah, you went on in the morning.
And then you had another one. Then you had in the morning, then lunch and the afternoon.
So like if you finish your lunch early, you could go outside and play.
That's right.
And then in the afternoon, they had afternoon recess. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it was only like 15 minutes, but you could still like go outside.
It seemed long though.
It did seem long.
It seemed like you were out there all day. I was like, oh yes, recess, like bring it.
Yeah.
Especially when you had PE on the same day, it was like you just played all day.
Play all day. I just don't know. I mean, I remember playing. So my game was Foursquare.
Oh, that was
Foursquare. My game. I was like, I'm kind of competitive a little bit. I'm not like you. I'm not crazy.
Well, I'm not crazy. I just don't like to lose. So there it is.
I realize there's stuff that I'm good at, and in those things,
and you were good at Foursquare.
Yeah, I'm really competitive.
We should do a game of Foursquare.
This, I'm telling you, that was like
do
one
they
of
have
my
adult Foursquare because they brought adult kickball. They have
should.
That would be.
That was my jam.
So my thing was tetherball.
I could not play tetherball.
Okay, so I had a friend who was a beast at tetherball, and it so there was like a few people who were really really good. And so, crowds would just be around watching that thing, and you whip that ball. That was the funnest game ever.
That's my thing. I was afraid of tetherball
because you could get hurt.
Yeah,
you could get hurt.
And I didn't like it.
That's probably not. No wonder why they don't make that anymore because the string hanging down from the pole is not safe for kids.
No, and that ball flying at you, and you really had to line that thing. I mean, when that ball came whipping around, if you didn't.
Because you would whip it around your wrist. Like you had to, it was many
a whole
techniques.
Thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a whole thing. Tetherball was not my sport. Foursquare was my jam. I didn't mind kickball, but it wasn't my favorite.
Yeah, I liked kickball.
I owned like that number one spot in Foursquare.
Yeah.
I would like own that spot. It was, I really like it.
They should have that. They should make that. Go back to.
Well, they have dodgeball.
Yeah, they do have dodgeball. I didn't really like dodgeball because I felt like that was a little bit of anger aggression. I mean,
did you ever?
I just think people were doing that to really get that. And you could do that. Like if you didn't like somebody, you would aim it at their head. No, yeah.
But see, we weren't allowed to. Well, I mean,
that was when you play by the rules. On recess,
oh yeah, you could take headshots.
You could do whatever you want.
So there were two games that we one was this awful name. We called it Murder Ball. And really, it was.
And what did you say? Now you were talking about me being competitive. At least I'm on the tetherball thing, just trying to win.
Right. This was
trying to kill. That's two different things.
The whole purpose of this game was if somebody was holding the ball, you could tackle them. It was like
that sounds
I don't even know if we had teams.
Football,
it was like rugby, football.
Yeah.
There were no rules. The only rule was whoever was holding the ball could get tackled.
So what would be the point of even holding the ball? If you threw me the ball, I just
because some kids like to be chased. So like if you were like the super fast kid in the class, like it would be fun to try to get away from everybody and everybody's running around. We didn't even have teams. It was just like you had the ball, and then if somebody got
sounds
close,
like Hunger Games.
It was like the dumbest thing ever, and all you did was run.
This is not sanctioned by the school.
Probably not. We had this big open
I'm sure
field.
it's not sanctioned.
If they knew what we called it, yeah. But we had like our playground area. So there was like the basketball hoops and the 4-square court and tetherball, like the blacktop.
Yes.
And then behind the blacktop, there was just this big grassy field, and you could do anything out there. And that's
apparently murder ball.
What we did. We just ran after the person who was holding the ball and just tackled the Jesus out of them. Unless they got rid of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. That would be a game I didn't, because it would just be at that point a brawl.
Yeah,
you tackle me because I'm just.
It was dumb.
Or I'm just not gonna throw me the ball and
I never caught the ball. Like I was just the kid that was out there running around in circles. Like I don't ever remember holding the ball. Like it was dumb.
Yeah,
but field days were good too. Field day was
fun. Yeah,
that was the best day of the year.
It kind of was, but except for the parties. But anyway.
Yeah.
So that's
one thing.
I know. But after the break, we're going to talk to Penny Collins, who is the president and CEO of WIT, Women in Technology. She's going to come on and talk to us, of course, about the organization and what they're doing to help more young girls and come into STEAM or STEM careers, and then also to honor women who have already been there, so who are blazing the trail for young women to go. And, we talk about technology and we use technology every single day, and our world around us is run by technology. So to have the diversity of, women and girls at the table and in leadership roles is super important. So she's going to come on and talk about WIT and give us some insight as to what some of the programs they're doing and some of the programs they're running.
Yeah, because I don't know that anybody ever, I'm trying to think, like, did anybody... Well, I don't know that people actually came and talked to us about anything when we were kids.
No, you had like
there was a career day, but it wasn't like a really dedicated thing to be like, you could be whatever. Like it was that one day, and the people, even like your friend's parents came, and it was like, oh, my mom's here. She's a librarian, and she, whatever, and that was it.
And that was it.
There was really nothing, and my parents could never participate because they worked in the school, so it was like, oh, there's my mom.
But then didn't anybody want to tell kids how to be a teacher?
No.
What? I mean, there's a lot that's a profession.
Oh, I'm sure it is, but it wasn't like they're like, oh, Miss Lyons, can you come from like next door and come? No.
Oh, that's wrong for teachers. They should have career day. If you just go to school, I mean, you might know what your teacher does, but you probably don't know.
Oh, of course you don't know.
Insight about what teachers do or what the principal does. You just think they walk around and tell you to go to class. So, I mean, there's lots of other stuff that they do.
Maybe. I don't know. I'll ask my dad. What else did you do other than walk around?
I bet you he did paperwork. He went to trainings. I'm sure he did a lot of stuff.
He did stuff.
Yeah.
He went there every day. I assume he did something.
Well, he didn't get fired.
He did not get fired.
He was doing a lot of work.
He retired on good standing. Yeah, good job, Dad.
Well, anyway, so yes, they should have a career day for teachers. But anyway, that's part of what WIT does they have women who are in technology go into schools and tell young girls about careers and things that they can do to break into the technology world and all the variety of things that technology, because you can get any job in technology.
It's true.
So we're excited that Penny's going to come and talk to us after the break and tell us all about WIT.
And I also think that it's important. So it's not just the girls and young women, but also women who are already working there to give them a sense of community, because that's part of it, is that there's not a lot of women at the table or in some of these technology careers. And you may feel, am I isolated and am I the only person? And, whatever. So then you get to meet other women who are in your, I just work at a different company and I'm the only person there. So you get a chance to interact and network, and it's not a problem in marketing and communication careers. There's a lot of women around.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, mostly.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at least that's what you see. Now in leadership, that's
That
a
is
different
true.
story. So we should have, there are
There's all
kinds of
everywhere.
organizations.
Yes.
But there are women Marcom led organizations that are working in that space already. But yeah, there's a lot of disparity there. So we will say
There's that.
not at Goodwill. But
No.
anyway,
No.
changing gears a little bit. So we've got some good shows for you coming up, and we should always just remind you, this show is sponsored by Goodwill of North Georgia. Our mission is to put people to work. That's what we do. So we're going to talk to you, of course, introduce you to all of the other nonprofits. But, we love where we work. We want to give a big shout out to our team there. This year, we're going to put 25,000 people to work right here in North Georgia with your help, because you're going to donate and shop, we hope. Help us do that and partner. I think, there's lots of opportunities to partner with groups like WIT, because we have a technology careers program.
Right. And a women in non-traditional careers program.
Exactly. So
there's that.
Lots of partnership opportunities there. And I'm pretty sure Penny will tell us about some of the partners that they have already that are helping them do the work to advance what WIT is doing. So pretty cool. And then after that, we will talk to Jay from JFit Academy and hear all about the organization that she has built to help turn the tide when it comes to our young people who aren't fit, aren't exercising, or maybe facing some challenges in their life. So stick with us. We're going to be back after the break. You're listening to The Good Work Show.
To learn more about the show and how your company can tell their story, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @GoodWorkShow.
Audience, we are back on The Good Work Show, and we're sitting here with Penny Collins. She's the president and CEO of Women in Technology. Penny, welcome to the show.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. So, love, of course, Women in Technology. We know a little bit about the organization, but we want our audience to know, especially if they've never heard of WIT. So, why don't you tell them about it and tell them about the mission?
Absolutely. So Women in Technology, we are all about how do we empower girls and women to excel in some type of a STEAM-related career. So what I mean by that is, how do we get girls educated and young women educated in all the different opportunities that are available to them in technology? And then how do we teach them? How do we encourage them? How do we mentor them? And then and make sure that they feel supported and they really understand what technology really means. But then as they become a woman in a career, in a technology career, how do we as professional women, working with all the different people in technology careers, support women in careers so that we are there to encourage each other, to support each other, to teach each other, but also more importantly, if you look around technology companies, there's not a lot of women. Mm-hmm. There really isn't. So my last company, I worked for First Data, and I was one of the only female leaders that they had amongst hundreds and hundreds of technology opportunities that they had. And First Data took a very conscious effort to look at how they could grow their women population in technology. So what WIT does is works with companies like this to look at how do we support women? How do we help them to have confidence? How do we help them to feel more empowered, as well as have the soft skills so that they know how to communicate and have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
And that's really key for what we do.
Yeah.
That's really cool. So the organization was founded in 1992.
Correct.
So talk to us a little bit about what made a group of women, I assume.
Yes.
I assume it's a group of women. Decide, hey, we need to have this organization. 92, tech stuff was happening. Mm-hmm. I guess tech stuff was always happening.
Always happening.
But yeah.
Just start.
But like in a way that was really noticeable. So what made these ladies get together and say, okay, we're going to start this organization and really think forward into the future on making sure that women are included in technology careers?
It's amazing. It's actually really an amazing story. There were a group of 5 women who were all in technology. And they decided to get a group together and just have dinner and drinks and just talk about technology. Technology was new and they weren't sure if it was going to be around for a while. Mm-hmm. So it was really for them to have dinner and just talk, just network and get to know each other. What they found was other women wanted to be part of it. When they heard about what they were doing, they're like, we want to be part of what you're doing. So they decided to look at growing it and brought more women into their network of dinner and drinks. And then soon they started thinking about, well, we shouldn't just come here and eat and have drinks. Let's do more. How can we give back? So then they formed WIT, and they started looking at opportunities to help the community, help the girls, and help the women. And it just grew from there.
Yeah.
It's an amazing story.
Yeah, that is amazing. So tell us why it's important, though, when we talk about STEAM or STEM, even, and just making sure that, there's a variety of voices at the table. Tell me why that's important, and maybe even some things that, the general public may not understand fully about why it's so important to have diverse voices at the table, especially when we're talking about technology and the things that are going to move our society forward.
Absolutely. I think we can all say that there is disparity within the community around not having enough women at the table in technology. If you really think about diversity and inclusion, when you have a diverse group with different backgrounds, with different ideas, that sparks innovation. And when you have innovation, that grows a company and it grows the bottom line. And I think a lot of people don't really realize it, or they're starting to realize it. It's become quite the movement around what do we need to do to get more women in technology. So it is important that we have not only diversity, but if we have a scarce resources of women who are not in technology, but also having a seat at the board table where they're in leadership positions, where they're adding their ideas, they're adding their innovative ideas, then you kind of get stale. And you keep doing what you keep on doing, which is you follow what they keep on doing, right? With the men's, their way of thinking. And so I think what's important is that you have the diverse perspectives, you have the different ideas. But why is that important for WIT? Why it's important is because we do have a void with women having a voice. We don't have a voice, we don't have a seat at the table, but there's also an issue with equality of pay. So if you look at a lot of the women that are in technology, they make much, much less than men. And they're doing the exact same positions. So the question becomes, why, right? And a lot of it is, a lot of women, they start out in their careers in technology, then they have children. Then they leave the workforce, and then they come back in, and then they continue taking care of the kids. They're taking care of their family, as well as having their full-time careers. So the environment at work is not real conducive to a lot of the women. And so they're stressed, they're working 24/7, taking care of their family and then doing their technology job. And it becomes quite the challenge for them to stay in technology. So they end up leaving. Almost all of them end up leaving those leadership roles. So what we try to do is look at what can we do to help women feel more supported and let them continue in their careers.
Yeah,
That's great.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask a really basic question because we've been talking about women in technology, but what's considered a technology job? Like, what does that actually mean? Are we talking just strictly computers? Are we talking social media companies? What are we talking about when we're talking about technology careers?
Very good question. And it's all the above of what you just listed and more. If you think about our world today, technology is embedded in everything we do. Everything is technology. And you may not be an engineer, but you may touch technology in some way, whether it's project management, whether it's product development, whether you're a business analyst. Every role and function touches technology in some way. You can be at a bank and you are interfacing with technology left and right. So, and that is one thing that we try to teach the young girls that are in middle school and high school, is really help them understand what is technology. It's not, they still have this misconception that it is a dude with a hoodie, with the Mountain Dew, coding in the dark. And what we're trying to tell them is it's that, but it's so much more. There's so many opportunities and so many things that you can do with technology. So we try to teach the middle school girls and the high school girls with a group of volunteers and sponsors that we have about what technology is. And then when they get into their high school careers, we do a little bit more and we start talking about what careers they can actually go into if they stick with technology. And then we've got what we have is a college program, and we call that WIT Campus. And our WIT Campus program is where we work with our very generous sponsors. I mean, incredible men and women in technology that work in corporate America. Coca-Cola, Equifax, T-Mobile, Pfizer, First Data, all those big companies. And they volunteer their time to go to these colleges and teach girls about what it really is like in real life, real life technology. So not only are they learning it in their curriculums, but these experts are augmenting their learning by teaching them real life experiences, which is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. So, a few shows ago, we were talking with the executive director for March of Dimes, and he was, sharing some information about a new technology that was helping moms. I think it was like a heartbeat monitor or something. Anyway,
it was combining was it
ultrasound and heart.
So they were discovering how a contraction worked.
Yes.
Because nobody had bothered in all the years that people have been having babies to actually
do
know.
it. Yes.
So
this
the
is new.
experience.
So my question was, I was like, this is groundbreaking. Awesome, Shane. But why are we just getting to that? Like, that seems like so when you say, women not having a seat at the table, but then also not bringing those creative ideas and thinking, is that for a lot of things, even when you think about clothing and things that are designed or furniture that's designed for, a male body and not necessarily for women. So do you see that in technology too? And is that part of what, is sparking WIT to bring more girls and women into technology?
Absolutely. Because if you also think about women in general, we're very sensitive, we're very creative, and there's a whole different segment that we touch that men don't have experience touching. So women bring that creativity and also those experiences from being a woman, whether it's, look at makeup. In our makeup that we wear every day, there is a science behind the makeup, and behind the science is technology. You look at companies, for example, like Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, there's a science behind their formula. Yeah. So you have a science along with the technology that actually supports it. So to your point, yes, women bring that other side to it.
Yeah.
But I will have to say that we also need men. You have to have diversity and inclusion. And with both perspectives together, then you build strength in everything that you're doing.
I just think about when they keep designing cell phones and making them bigger and bigger, and you can't, and they don't fit in my hand anymore.
Or your pocket.
Or your pocket.
Yeah.
Yes.
But now guys are complaining about that.
Yes, they've gotten that big.
That's true.
But I wonder who was the person, maybe it was a woman, who made that functionality on the iPhone that shifted
Small
the
hands.
keyboard so that you could use it with one hand and you don't have to reach, because my thumb is never going to make it, even on the small size.
You can't even go over.
I can't. I never am going to hit that button, when I'm using my phone. So yes, having that diversity and having, somebody's like, well, everybody wants a big phone because
You can see more.
you can
stuff.
see more
do
and it's more fun
Yeah.
and it's cool. But then there has to be that person at the table. It doesn't fit in my hand.
Right. Yeah.
I need some help.
It doesn't fit anymore. So yeah.
Yeah. So we have about a minute left. We're going to take a break, Penny. We're going to come back and we're going to talk a little bit more about WIT. You gave us a good rundown of some of the programs, but we want to give our audience some insight into how they can get involved and maybe how they can support what WIT is doing. I know you have some programs and opportunities and events where people can do that. So we're going to take a break. We're going to come back. But before we do that, why don't you give our audience your website and how they might find more information about what WIT is and what they're doing?
www.mywit.org. You can also look me up on LinkedIn, Penny Collins.
All right, fantastic. Well, audience, we're going to come back. We're going to talk more with Penny Collins. She is the president and CEO of Women in Technology. Stay with us. You're listening to The Good Work Show.
To learn more about the show and how your company can tell their story, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @GoodWorkShow.
Audience, welcome back to the show. We are chatting with Penny Collins, who is the president and CEO of Women in Technology. And we had a really good conversation first segment about, the history of WIT and, of course, why it's so important to have women and girls at the table and involved in STEM-related careers, just in general. And the work that WIT is doing, some of the rundown of the programs of how you're getting them connected. But you also are recognizing women who have been there. And so not just getting, the new generation there, but recognizing the work that the women who've gone before them have blazed the trail for. So you have an event that comes up and where you do just that. So can you tell us a little bit about the Women of the Year Awards?
I would be happy to.
Yeah.
Love this event. It is an event. It's called WIT, Women of the Year, and it takes place November 14th, and it will be at the Georgia Aquarium. Nice. And what this event is, it's an incredible, phenomenal, inspirational evening. That's a lot of adjectives. All in one sentence.
And the aquarium, add on that.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's an adjective of its own.
Exactly.
You get all of that and whales.
And whales. Beluga whales in the background.
Yeah.
But it is a night where we have 900 technology leaders and executives and their employees that come to the Georgia Aquarium. And we are there to celebrate these incredible women who have been nominated and awarded to be Women of the Year. And these are women that give back to the community. These are women that are, just blazers within their within their technology areas. And they are also giving back. They're mentoring girls, they're mentoring women, and they're really adding something into our culture. And so what we want to do is celebrate these women. We want to acknowledge these women. So we ask the community, and you don't have to be a member to do this, to go to mywit.org and fill out a nomination form for someone that you think should be nominated to be the winner of a Women of the Year. And at that evening, we have dinner and drinks and entertainment. And then we go to the program where we actually award a Woman of the Year for large business, medium, small, and nonprofit. But we also award a Girl of the Year and a College Girl of the Year. Nice. So it's middle school, high school, as well as with college. And it's just a night of celebration. It's a night of saying thank you. And it's a night of just seeing what we there's more that we need to do. And seeing these incredible women, actually, you actually leave there with tears and just chills because it tells you there's so much more that we need to do.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So November 14th.
At the Georgia Aquarium.
At the Georgia Aquarium. So mywit.org is how you get those tickets. You should probably get them now because it will probably sell out.
It always sells out.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to make your nomination.
That's right.
Yes.
Make your nomination.
Yes. And nominations close next Friday.
Okay.
And we already have hundreds of nominations.
Fantastic.
And so please absolutely participate because we want to celebrate these women.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Wonderful. So you talked a little bit about the WIT campus program for the college students.
Yes.
So you have WIT Girls, and that is for the students that are in middle school and high school. Is that right? So what kind of stuff are they doing? Is it hands-on? Is it field? Like what happens with WIT Girls to actually get them exposed to these technology careers?
Oh, great question. So there's actually a lot we do. One of the things we do is we have a mentoring program and a shadowing program. Mm-hmm. So these WIT girls partner with a mentor that's in corporate America. And that woman spends time with this girl, teaching her about technology, teaching her about coding, teaching her how to not be afraid of it, to embrace it, and to go after it. So, and that usually happens, a week throughout the year, and they continue their mentorship from there. We also have a job shadow program where companies partner with these girls, and these girls go to these companies like AT&T, great sponsor of ours. Mm-hmm. And these girls will go to AT&T and spend the week learning about all the different roles that are in technology at AT&T. They get to see the connected car. They need to see all the technology that's available. And it gives them just more exposure to the possibilities and actually what is out there. We also do great events like we have happening August 17th, where we've partnered with Apple. And these girls are going to go to the Apple location at Avalon, and they're going to learn how to code right there with an app right there at the store.
That's cool.
And we actually opened it up to all of our WIT girls, and it sold out in an hour.
Wow.
And so now Apple is going to partner with us to open it up to all of their locations, and we want to offer a series of courses so that we can reach even more of the wonderful girls that are out there.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
That is cool.
So that sounds like a challenge for all of the tech companies that are in Atlanta.
Yes.
We have more. Apple's out of Cupertino. That doesn't mean that, those of you who are here who are listening. So anyway, but I'm pretty sure you listed a lot of partners, and I'm sure there's a lot of people doing things, but there's more opportunity for folks to get involved and to plug in. And then there's also opportunity for WIT to help other organizations. So there's a part that provides grants to other organizations. So tell us a little bit about how WIT is giving back, because not only, you're doing a ton to support this next generation and honor the ones who are already here. But then you are giving back to other organizations. And tell us a little bit about how you're doing that.
One thing we feel very strongly about is that we as a nonprofit should partner with other nonprofits. We should absolutely not compete. And we are all about serving our community and serving these young girls because we need them and they need us. And with that, we look at all nonprofits and all different organizations to say, what are you doing? Are you contributing to the mission of what we're trying to do? And if you are, and you're just starting out, let us help you. That's how we got our start. Let us look at your program. Let's look at, do you have a solid program? Or do you have measures in place so that you can actually see the ROI on the work that you're doing? And if you do, apply for a grant, and we will absolutely do what we can to contribute and give you money so that you can continue doing what you're doing. So we're all about absolutely partnering with a lot of people so that we continue to all serve the same cause.
Yeah, that's fantastic. That's a great way to get involved and help. At some point, there may be women business owners or, presidents and CEOs of those nonprofits who can, again, continue this whole cycle of helping and move everybody along. So,
you know what's interesting? This has been, WIT has been around for 27 years, and we still, as WIT, as well as other women in technology programs, we've moved the needle a little bit, but not enough. There's so much more that we need to do. And I believe that there's definitely strength in numbers. So we've got to look at how we come together and really look at how we make more of an impact. And it's not just about educating girls and women and encouraging them to stay within their careers. It's all about, why is it the way that it is? What behaviors have to change in the workplace and between the relationships of men and women to allow us to get over this and resolve the issue so that we can continue to have equity within women in technology. And it's one of those things where it can't be something that is off to the side. And unfortunately, I think in corporate America, it has to come from the top down. And it can't be just one message. It has to be a consistent message that continues and continues, because we will get back to our old behaviors if we don't look at diversity and inclusion on all levels coming from the top.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you also have scholarship programs for
We
girls.
do.
Yeah. So tell us, schools either started or about to start, whatever, something like that. It's about that time of year. So if girls are out there listening and they're interested in scholarships or interested in technology careers, what are the requirements? How do they qualify? What's the whole deal?
The first thing they would have to do is become a member of WIT.
Okay.
So you can become a member for free. It's free for all of our students. You just go to our website, mywit.org, and you look at, fill out the application for being a member. But I will say this, we gave out this year already over $190,000 in scholarships
That's fantastic.
to high school and college girls through the support of our incredible sponsors. I mean, we've got the most generous sponsors that actually partner with us. And we love being able to work with them to give these scholarships to these girls. The requirements are that you need to be a member of WIT, that you have to have a 3.0 or above in your GPA. You have to be involved in some type of a servant activity back to the community. And you have to show us. You have to show us that you're doing that. You have to be part of a STEAM club, and you have to show us that you actually are. And you also have to be if you're in college, you have to show that you are in STEAM-related curriculums. So those are the requirements. And then a lot of it is we do very personal interviews so that we can really get to know the girls and really get to know how serious are they about their careers and in technology or engineering and arts or math and science. And based on that, we award the scholarship. So at WIT Connect, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year, which was held on June 20th, that's where we gave out over $190,000 of scholarships. It was amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we've got about a minute and a half left. Tell us what's next for WIT. You've got a lot going on. What's on the horizon for the future, and what can we look forward to?
For our future, we really want to look at how we can do more. I mean, we've got a great girls program and a great campus program. We want to do more about women in careers. So how do we develop small groups or networking pods with women that are in like careers. So if you're a data scientist, how do I find data scientists in other companies and bring these women together so that they can network and they can learn from each other? And that is the key also for them to feel more empowered and have more confidence. They need to know that there's other women out there to support them. So that's really what we want to focus on.
Wow. So if anybody's looking for an opportunity and wants to help you put all of that together, or if you're one of those women who is a data scientist, or you're in technology and you're like, yes, I would love to do that, they should probably call you or reach out, mywit.org, and sign up to become a volunteer or just get involved in some way, because I think that, to me, could absolutely have legs, because if you think you're the only one, or you're the only one you see in your company, you don't know who else is out there.
Absolutely. Yeah. And the one key thing is that we live and breathe because of our volunteers. Yeah. We have over 300 volunteers, and they are what make us successful. So volunteer and use that as an opportunity to give back.
All right. Well, Penny, it was a pleasure to have you on the show.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much to you and Wit, and we can tell your passion is like coming
I
through.
know, yes.
So yes, mywit.org is how you find out all the information, everybody. November 14th is the Women of the Year Awards. Make sure you go, make sure you nominate, and just support all the work that Wit is doing. So appreciate you coming by.
Thank you for allowing me to be here.
Absolutely. You're listening to The Good Work Show.
To learn more about the show and how your company can tell their story, like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter @GoodWorkShow.
Audience, welcome back to The Good Work Show. We are excited to be sitting here with Jay Davis, Jay Fit Academy, and we want to dig into that. But first, we want to hear about you and your story. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Don't it looks like you're like, oh, I don't want to talk about myself. But no, we definitely want to talk about you a little bit, so we can give our audience a little bit of background about who you are and why you're so equipped to run Jay Fit Academy and help those who you're helping.
Okay, I think I can handle that. Well, I'm 46 years old. I am a personal trainer, also a retired firefighter, paramedic, and I've had 6 back surgeries. So with that being said, all of that kind of ties into why I care so much about personal training and helping people get to where they feel comfortable and happy. Jay Fit Academy came from just my love of kids and working in the community and seeing kids of different backgrounds suffer different things and go through different things. The Jay Fit Academy is a 501c3, and it is to help combat childhood obesity and diabetes and also bullying. So as you know, the obesity and the bullying kind of goes hand in hand. Either they're being bullied or they're doing the bullying. And so a lot of these kids have issues, socialization issues, and low self-esteem. And so with the program, we take them for 90 days and we train them. And we help encourage and uplift them, because now they're getting positive reinforcement from kids that they normally wouldn't get acknowledgement from in school. Wow. So it all kind of ties together with just me being in the community and just always trying to find a way to give back.
Wow, fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah.
So talk to us a little bit about the foundation, just in general. So not even necessarily for a part of the academy, though I'm sure this plays into it. But how does it make a difference for a kid if they are learning some of these lessons young about having a positive feeling about exercise and that kind of stuff? Like, how does that kind of set them up for now, but also for the future?
Well, first off, sports and exercise, it helps the child feel confident about their abilities and their body and what they're capable of doing. When you put a child into competitive sports, they learn how to compete. And that's very important early on, because life is a competition in every area. When you're dealing with school, the workplace, grades, just pretty much about everything. It's a competition. Even when you're just taking a test to get your driver's license, it's a competition. You have to pass it in order to get your license. So when you start working with kids early on and they learn confidence in their ability, confidence in their body and what they're able to do, then they have more of a competitive perspective about things, and they're willing to at least try.
That's cool. Yeah, because I never liked running when I was a kid. I don't like running now.
So you think if you'd run as a child, you might like it now?
Sure.
You think?
Maybe. I mean, that's possible.
It's possible.
I didn't like it. Still don't.
It's definitely environmental.
Yeah.
My son, all he talks about is going to the gym to work out. And he's 4,
Mm.
and that's because that's what he's always been around.
Mm-hmm.
Other kids that come in there, their parents have kind of a sedentary lifestyle, and so when you pick up your kid and you're exhausted, you're working 15 hours a day, they go home and they sit down, and the kid goes and they sit down and they find things to entertain themselves with. That includes sitting down,
Right.
iPad, the gaming. When we were younger, we couldn't dare sit at
That's
home.
right.
On the weekends, we had to go outside when we woke up and don't come back in until the street lights came on because your mom was in there cooking, cleaning. She couldn't do that with us in the house.
That's
As soon
right.
as you clean up one room, we dirty up the next.
Right.
So we had to go outside and we had to do physical things to entertain ourselves.
Yeah. My mom's favorite saying was, "Go get up and do something constructive." And as a kid, I didn't get what she
that
was
meant.
like. What do you
So
mean
you're like-
constructive? That's a big word for a little kid. I'm not sure that I'm equipped to be constructive, but that's fine. Let me go find something to do.
That included going outside.
Going outside,
Yes. Let me
yes.
just get out of your face, and then you'll think I'm doing something.
I mean, we
constructive.
had cartoons, and then because then cartoons went off.
right.
Like that was the thing. You'd wake up and you'd have cartoons, but then that didn't stay on all day. Like it usually switched to some awful. But you like those movies, those weird movies like The Blob and that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
those USA movies. Yeah.
Those kind of, but so you did have to go outside, and there weren't, if one kid in the neighborhood had a video game, maybe,
yeah.
Right.
but
Yeah.
that wasn't a
And we still wasn't an interest back then.
no.
Yeah.
Because we
Had
were
a
so
bike.
used to going out. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were used to going outside and just finding trouble.
So what do the kids do when they come to JFit Academy? Like if we were to come and say, "Hey, let's all go take a field trip." What would we see them doing? Are they actually doing competition type sports things? Are they lifting weights? Tell us about it.
Well, we generally don't lift weights with them because they're young and they don't really recommend that they use weights at that age. But we're learning the basics and we use body weight, calisthenics, things that kids need to know how to do. They need to know how to run. You'd be amazed that kids don't have the balance to run, jump, or
that
the
might
confidence.
be my problem.
Or the confidence. They don't have the confidence to jump. Like
Wow.
you'd be amazed. And it's funny that I look at like my son and I'll see him jump and I'm like, don't do it, don't do it, don't do it. You know, he'll jump with no fear.
Yeah.
He'll jump off the top of one of the tires onto a box and I'm like, you're not going to make it. But then you have these 10-year-olds that you can put a step riser up, you know, like those aerobic step riser. You can tell them to jump on top of it and they're afraid of jumping on top of it because they've never had the opportunity to challenge themselves to jump on anything or to swing on anything. You know how we used to just swing from monkey bars?
That's right. Yeah.
These kids will not do it. It takes a lot of convincing and encouragement for them to even climb that high
Yeah.
because they don't have that stuff available like we had.
Had it.
Like we had gym, we had
Exactly.
PT.
Yeah.
They don't have it now.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
it's not really their fault. It's environmental and we've taken those things out of the environment.
Yeah.
We did have the monkey bar. I remember, hanging upside down from the monkey
Yeah.
bars and
Yeah.
swinging and swinging too high. Like, that feeling in the pit of your stomach when you knew that last leg pump was too high. It's like,
Like,
nah, I did. And then you have to let yourself come back down. You're like, yeah, I did too much.
And this is coming from someone who didn't like to run.
I did
I
not
know,
like to
right?
run.
Yeah.
So at JFit, you'll see them warming up.
Okay.
You'll see them exercising. You'll see them, they're even doing push-ups now. And they're boxing. So we
that's
incorporate
fun.
incorporate boxing in that as well because we still want them to have the confidence to learn how to move and protect themselves, move themselves away from danger. And a lot of kids don't even have the reflexes. Like you'd be amazed to see a kid just stand there when something comes toward their head. They just stand there because they've never been put in that situation.
Wow.
So it
Yeah.
works on their reflexes.
Yeah, lots of things that they're learning then, just not only with the fitness part, but really teaching them just how to survive in life. I mean, you don't move when something's coming at you. You got to be able to respond.
problem.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so talk to us about, it sounds like everybody's probably a good fit for the academy, but who's a good fit? Like, what are the age groups and what are the age ranges for the students who are coming to you?
Well, the age range is 5 to 13. And we generally take on kids that have self-esteem, challenges, and definitely weight challenges. So those are, if they have those concerns, then they're a good fit for the program.
Cool.
So Jay, I can tell that, because you started this and it was part of, what you saw going on around you, you're very passionate about, what you're doing and helping the children. But what do you get out of it? You've been doing the camp for a while, and kids are coming to you, and maybe they've come and gone, and you've seen some improvement.
Right.
So tell us a little bit about, how that makes you feel, because you're a part of that success for some children who now, whether they work out every day or not after they leave you, they will remember something that you taught them.
Well, it's very rewarding for me. I have parents to come in on a regular basis and say that they see the change in their child, and they thank me. They've dropped a couple sizes in 90 days. These kids have lost weight. They're more confident, and you can just see in their eyes when they come in the gym, they're not the same kid as they were when the first day. And it's amazing to see their confidence. Like, these are kids that came in and they were broken. Like, their confidence, as far as interacting with other kids, they were kind of very timid. And so now I can't keep them quiet. They come in there and they're talking, they're socializing, they're dancing. And I see more of a childlike spirit with them instead of being afraid to engage and socialize, which is normal for kids. Kids are very talkative. Like, I have to tell my son, stop talking. He's a stranger. Everybody's not nice. Like, you can't just talk to everybody. And so it's normal for them to want to engage. But these kids come in and they're very withdrawn sometimes, and they're afraid to talk. And now I can't keep them quiet.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's great.
Yeah.
So where can people go to find out more information if they're like, my kid might be a good fit for this?
Well, they can go to www.jaifit.org, and that's JAIFIT.org. They can also go on the gym's website, which is boxfitfitness.com. And then they also can follow me on Instagram and social media as Body by Jay, and that's JAI.
Fantastic. And we should just remind people, what's the investment that parents would have to make to get their kids involved in this?
Well, the investment for the parents would be, I believe there's a $25 application fee. And then the other investment, which is the largest investment, is commitment and their time. So they need to be willing to commit the time and get their kids to the program twice a week, because they've taken a spot from another potential child that could have really used the spot. And the spots are, they're very time consuming. It's a lot of work to go into these kids, and it isn't free, but we provide the service for free, and we work on donations. And so it's important that the parent really utilizes the space that they occupy for their child and that they've taken away from someone else.
Wow.
So it's twice a week for an hour, or?
Yes, it's for an hour, and it's for 90 days.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's great. So, Jay, we appreciate you stopping by the show. Jfit.org.
Yes.
There's where you can find JFit Academy online. Please make sure you look it up. Thank you for what you're doing to support our youth. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely. You're listening to The Good Work Show.